In the rain-slicked streets of Musutofu, Japan, a storm had just passed, leaving behind a strange new arrival. Washed ashore near the city, a man lay unconscious. He was dressed in a black and white sailor's uniform, with bizarrely muscular forearms and a pipe sticking out of his mouth. It was none other than Popeye the Sailor Man, and who should stumble upon him but Izuku Midoriya and his classmates from UA High's Class 1A. They stared, completely baffled. The man looked like he'd stepped right out of a pre-quirk-era cartoon, a relic from a forgotten age. Once he awoke, Popeye's presence in the hyper-modern world of quirks was an immediate source of confusion and comedy. He'd wander around, muttering things like, "Well, blow me down," at the sight of someone like Tokayami and his dark shadow. He seemed utterly oblivious to the concept of superpowers, which made everyone assume he was quirkless. This assumption was put to the test when a minor villain with a weak magnetism quirk tried to rob a corner store. The heroes in training prepared to intervene, but Popeye just grumbled, "That's all I can stands, I can't stands no more." He reached into his shirt, pulled out a can of spinach. He squeezed it and the green contents shot directly into his mouth. The effect was instantaneous and shocking. Popeye's already impressive biceps bulged to impossible sizes. The villain, laughing at the old man, launched a barrage of scrap metal at him. Popeye just wound up his arm like a propeller and punched. A single powerful blow sent the villain and all his metal projectiles flying backward, crashing into a heap. The students were speechless. Bakugo's jaw was on the floor. Todoroki just stared, unable to process what he'd seen. This wasn't a quirk, it was something else entirely. The incident didn't go unnoticed. Reports of a strange, spinach-powered man reached the ears of the pro-heroes, including a very curious All Might, who decided to investigate this anomaly himself. Life with Popeye at the UA dorms was a surreal experience. He'd arm wrestle Kirishima and win without even breaking a sweat before eating his spinach. He'd get into arguments with Bakugo, which usually ended with Popeye muttering under his breath and Bakugo getting more infuriated by the sailor's nonsensical logic. Midoriya, ever the analyst, spent hours trying to understand Popeye's power. He'd write pages in his notebook. Source of power: canned spinach. Limitations: unknown. Power level: potentially limitless. How is this possible without a quirk factor? All Might observed from a distance, both amused and deeply intrigued. He saw a raw, unrefined power in Popeye that defied all known science and biology. It was a strength that reminded him of his own, yet it operated on completely different principles. The real test, however, was just around the corner. An alarm blared throughout the city. A high-level threat had been detected. A Nomu, far more powerful than the one that attacked at USJ, was rampaging through a downtown district. This one was a beast of pure muscle and regeneration, with multiple quirks that allowed it to adapt to any attack. Pro-heroes on the scene were being thrown around like toys. Endeavor's flames barely seemed to faze it. Best Genus fibers were snapped with ease. The situation was growing desperate. The Nomu, a mindless puppet of destruction, had cornered a group of terrified civilians. It raised a massive clawed hand, ready to bring it down and end their lives. All Might was miles away, his time limit for the day already exhausted. It seemed like all hope was lost. Suddenly, a familiar figure pushed through the crowd of panicked onlookers. It was Popeye, a determined glint in his one good eye. He saw the helpless people, the monster ready to strike, and his face hardened. "That's an unnice thing you're doing there, you big paloka," he shouted. The Nomu barely registered him. Popeye reached for his secret weapon. This time the can of spinach seemed to glow with an almost mystical energy. He crushed it, and the spinach shot into his mouth with an audible gulp. The transformation was biblical. The world seemed to shake. Popeye's muscles swelled to sizes that defied physics, his entire body radiating an aura of pure, unadulterated power. The sky above seemed to darken as he drew in a breath. The Nomu swung its arm down, but it never connected. Popeye's fist met the creatures in a cataclysmic explosion of force. A shockwave ripped through the city, shattering windows for blocks. The Nomu, a bioengineered weapon designed to fight All Might, was stopped cold. It looked at its attacker with what could only be described as shock. Popeye grinned, his pipe still firmly clenched in his teeth. He wound up his other arm, a motion so fast it was just a blur, accompanied by the sound of a steam whistle. Then came the punch. It wasn't just a punch. It was a force of nature, a massive POW effect like something from a comic book, materialized in the air at the point of impact. The Nomu didn't just get knocked back, it was launched. It soared through the air, over buildings, over the city skyline, becoming a tiny speck in the sky before disappearing with a twinkle, just like a star in a cartoon. Silence. The entire city was silent. The pro-heroes, battered and bruised, could only stare at the spot where the Nomu had been, then back at the sailor man who stood there, flexing his bicep. The civilians were in a state of stunned disbelief. The crisis was over, just like that. Later, at a debriefing at UA, the top heroes gathered, trying to make sense of the day's events. Neju was running complex simulations that all came back with error data impossible. Aizawa just looked tired, as if the universe had personally decided to make his job harder. All Might, in his skinny form, approached Popeye, who was casually leaning against the wall. "Young man." "No, Mr. Popeye," All Might began, his voice filled with awe. "I have never in all my years seen anything like that. That strength, it rivals my own at its peak. Your sense of justice is undeniable. I would like to offer you a position here at UA High School. We could learn much from you. You could be a great symbol for—" Popeye cut him off with a hearty laugh. He took a puff from his pipe, letting out a little toot-toot sound. He looked at All Might, then at the bewildered students peeking around the corner. With a wide, confident grin, he pointed a thumb at his chest. "I am what I am, and that's all that I am," he declared, his iconic theme music seeming to swell from nowhere. "I'm Popeye the Sailor Man." He gave a final toot of his pipe and a wink, a simple man of simple means, who just happened to be the strongest hero they had ever seen. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this wild crossover, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more.